Hey, how you doing? It's your Chef Jay, and this is Culinary Creations. It's Mardi Gras time of year. Everybody's down south in New Orleans for Mardi Gras, Fat Tuesday, and working up into that big Mardi Gras celebration. So we're going to be doing some Creole cooking. Today we're going to do a nice sausage and seafood with some chicken gumbo. We got some nice ingredients. We're going to get started. The only thing you have to realize is that with this you have two options. That's either to make your own shrimp stock, or you can buy it, or you can use chicken stock for this. The other key ingredient is making your roux. Your roux is going to be what's going to ultimately thicken the sauce for your gumbo, as well as give it that nice, dark, rich color. Depending upon how you like your roux, you can either make it a light blonde roux, kind of peanut buttery, or you can make it very, very, very dark roux. So that's up to you. I'm going to show you how to make the basic steps of making.
Chef Jay brings you another exciting episode of Culinary Creations.
Today's episode, Creole seafood and chicken gumbo. For today's recipe, you'll need 1 cup of butter, 2 cups of flour, 1 pound of bay scallops, 1 pound of large shrimp, the Trinity, which is celery, green peppers, and onions cut into a mirror pot dice, 4 cloves of garlic smashed, 4 to 5 chorizo or andouille sausage links, 1 pound of chicken breast cut into chunks, 2 cups of rice, and 4 to 6 cups of shrimp stock. Okay, so today we are going to be doing a Creole classic. It is called gumbo. The start of our gumbo is everything is going to be done in this pot, okay? With the exception of our rice that we cooked in a different pot, everything is going to be done in one pot, okay? We are going to have our roux that we're going to start, and that's going to be the longest process of what we're doing. You want to make sure that you have a whisk available, okay? And that whisk or a spoon is going to be what's helping you stir that roux. Stir, 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 because we don't want it to burn. The roux is 1 part fat and 2 parts flour, okay? Our fat today is going to be butter. You can use oil. Also, you can also have a baked roux where you use no fat at all, and you put your flour on a sheet pan in one single layer, and you just bake it off until it's brown. You need to stir that every 15 minutes or so. Make sure it doesn't burn. Again, the whole thing with this is you want to make sure that you watch it and it doesn't burn. My pot's been on, so it's going to be nice and hot. I'm going to get the process started. One other thing I want to mention is that we have the Trinity of Creole cooking, which is celery, onions, and green pepper. It's going to be the base for everything you do, okay? In addition to your roux, this is the other ingredient that needs to be there. I like to add in some garlic. You can add in whatever seasonings you want to make it the way you want to make it, okay? So let's get started. We're going to put our butter in our pot. Now, the thing with the butter is you want the butter to foam. Okay, so we're going to add our butter into our pan. And with this, what you want to do is you want to add the butter in. And again, you want to stir that butter. You want to stir that butter. You don't want to brown it. We're not trying to brown the butter. What we're trying to do is get it nice and foamy. Okay, so as you can see, our butter is nice and foamy. What we're going to do is slowly add in our flour. Okay, get it all in there. And yes, it will get nice and thick. Okay? Now, as you can see, the flour absorbs all of that nice fat. Okay? And you want to keep stirring this. You want to constantly keep your eye on it. Okay? Because as you can see, it gets nice and thick. Okay? So we're going to keep cooking this off. We're going to cook out that floury taste. And we're going to get this nice and dark. Okay, and as you see now, our roux has gotten nice and dark. I mean, it's very dark. It's at that peanut butter stage. And if I allow this to cook more, it will get even darker. What you're going to do now is you are going to take your vegetables, okay, You're going to take your Trinity and you are going to put that right into your Turn down your fire some. Okay? You don't really need any more fat in the pan. You just want to let this cook. Okay? So we're going to let this cook for a little bit, let our vegetables soften up, and we'll be right back. Okay, so our vegetables are getting nice and soft. Next thing we want to do is let's make a little well right in the middle, just like that. Okay, we want to get some color on our chicken. I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil into the center. Then I'm going to take my chicken. I'm going to put my chicken right in for our next addition, which is our chorizo or our andouille sausage. Okay, those are going to go right into the pan, along with everything else. Okay, you want to give those a good stir. Again, you want to build the flavors. You want to get everything to come together. You want it to have a great flavor. Each individual component you want to have very well seasoned, and you want to have those flavors marry and develop into what you're doing. Okay, so we have all of our components in the pan. Everything's ready to go. What we're going to do now is we are going to add our shrimp stock that we made earlier right on top of this, okay? We want to make sure that we can cover it up, okay? And we want to let this actually sit for about 45 minutes to an hour. You want to test it, you want to check it, you want to make sure that everything's okay. The other thing we're not going to do is put in our scallops or our shrimp. We're actually going to wait until the very end to do that, and that's just going to go right in. We're going to get a lot of flavor from the shrimp stock that we already put in there. You could add scallops, you could add crab, you could add whatever you want to add in there, but don't do it until the end because seafood doesn't need a lot of time. What we're going to do now is I have my strainer, and I'm going to take this, take my strainer, take my pot, which is not hot, and I'm just going to strain my stock, try and get it in the pot. So it's right over the top. You want to give that a nice stir, get everything incorporated, okay? And like I said, what we're going to do now is we're going to leave this to cook, okay? Medium-high heat. Get everything nice. You're going to see that roux that we made is going to just make a beautiful color stock in our gumbo. Okay, for the remainder of the dish, what I did was we've had our gumbo on cooking for about an hour now. What I did was I added in our shrimp, I added in our scallops because we don't want those to be in there for the entire time. And this is just about ready to go. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to let that cook in, and I'm going to plate this up. And there's the dish. Cajun seafood and chicken gumbo with white rice. Enjoy.